Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst and Pat Mcsharry and the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water. This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of In-Depth Outdoors. I'm Pat Mcsharry. And on this week's episode, we are headed to Okuma, Wisconsin to fish on Green Bay. This time of year, we don't have a ton of options on where we can go and catch walleyes. The guys were on Lake Erie last week. The Mississippi's just starting to get there where it's becoming fishable again. And one other great place to fish is Green Bay. The Okuma Peshtigo area has become famous over the last 3 or 4 years for kicking out some really big fish and also huge numbers on a casting bite. So it's Marcus, Quam, and I this week on In-Depth Outdoors. All right, you ready for this?
I'm excited. My favorite thing to do, go cast for walleyes. Still some aftermath of winter out here.
Lucky enough, somebody already cleared the way.
Got him.
Nice. Need a scoop on that one?
Yeah, I might want to take a scoop. It just hooked here at the corner. I hit it right at the boat.
A nice fish.
There we go.
All right.
Not a bad way to start, huh?
No. They were right where we saw them there.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time here, driving around in Graffin, trying to stay away from boats and find our own pot of fish. And the other thing that's been tough is finding the right water temperature because it got so cold, and we just came off a little bit of a blizzard, and well, we found some water at about a degree and a half warmer.
Yeah, most everything's been kind of that 33, and right now we're in 34.3, so there's one.
You got one too?
Yep. And the big deal too is just we're kind of off to the side of where the big school of fish is and where all the boats are. So you just can kind of motor around and look for these fish in different areas and find your own little pot of fish using the side imaging.
So it looks like it's spawned already. Nonetheless, still a nice one. Good way to start.
Heck yeah, man.
All right. See you later, fish.
See if I can just pop him out there. There we go. Nice little pre-spawner, 20-incher or so, but fat and chubby. Right, back you go. And both Marcus and I are fishing number 6 ripping wraps right now, and it's no secret out here, Okuma, Peshtigo, anywhere on Green Bay, these number 6 ripping wraps work awesome. And so much so that now there's all kinds of places that you can go and get all these different custom colors. This is just a number 6 ripping wrap. I think it's from North Shore Bait and Tackle there right in Okuma, and they got all kinds of different custom baits, and same with a lot of places on the bay, any of the Great Lakes. There's a lot of cool options to buy these custom colors, and they work awesome. I'm sure today we'll probably even pitch some plastics and different things like that, but right now, until we get a few more fish under our belt, I'm gonna keep throwing this number 6 ripping wrap. It's kind of a confidence bait for me.
Get action. Do things. Be sane. Don't fritter away your time. Create. Act. Take a place wherever you are. And be somebody. Get action.
Brandel GM in Aiken, Minnesota's only haggle-free Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer, is a proud sponsor of In-Depth Outdoors TV. Our Brandel value price ensures that you don't have to spend your entire day haggling to get a great deal. And every new vehicle comes with our exclusive gimmick-free lifetime powertrain warranty. Whether you're in need of service, sales, parts, or body shop repair, stop by our state-of-the-art facility in Aiken or visit us 24/7 at brandelgm.com.
In pursuit of what lies beneath, Okuma Fishing Tackle is the point of connection between angler and opportunity, giant pike and muskie, drag-screaming salmon, and deep-bodied lake trout, hard-fighting bass, and the elusive walleye, all pursued by anglers that demand the smoothest, longest-casting reels and perfectly balanced fishing rods, engineered to perfection everywhere, every species. Okuma Fishing Tackle is inspired fishing.
For the bass that thinks it's a bulldog. For the walleye that thinks it's a freight train. For the tuna that thinks it's a torpedo. For the tarpon that thinks it's a tarpon. You need the mono that thinks it's a braid. Sufix Advance. New advanced mono with HMPE braid molecules for strength, abrasion resistance, and low stretch. Sufix Advance. The mono that thinks it's a braid.
Right now we just have like a 10-mile-per-hour wind. It's blowing out of the south. And it's like a perfect drift wind to fish these ripping wraps. But one thing is, when you're drifting like that, you can't really see much on your side imaging. So I always, when I get done with a pass, I'll whip right around and head back into the wind at like 0.7 to 1 miles an hour, and I can see everything really well on my graphs right here. And it just enables me to line up my next drift on where I want to be, judging by where the fish are as I'm heading back into the wind. You know, if your boat's drifting sideways, that side imaging transducer isn't really getting a good reading, but if you're moving forward, then that's where that transducer angle is right, and you can see all the fish. And it really helps to do this just so that you can get that next pass lined up, and then you're right back on some fish. It's been working really well today so far. There we go.
There you go.
That one was on the plastic.
Want to scoop on it? Or?
I can grab them.
Okay.
Nice. You know, we went over that school, whacked two right away on the ripping wraps, and I just happened to have a pulsar sitting here from Be Fish and Tackle, and it's just I think it's called the oyster shell. It came up and thumped it. There we go. Another pre-spawner. Another 20-inch fish or so. But boy, does it feel good to be catching fish on casting baits. Back in the boat. This is awesome. Get that fish back right away. And get back out there. There's that bait. Just that 3.25-inch pulsar with the neon moon eye, purple and chartreuse 1/4-ounce jig head. Pretty dynamite combination there. All right, that was my first cast with the plastic, so see if I can repeat it.
There we go.
Bingo bango. You didn't put up too much of a tussle.
No, it was pretty close to the boat too.
Oh, I just missed one. Nicer fish there.
Yeah, this isn't bad. You know, we got a nice little pot of fish here. I mean, we're kind of out by ourselves a little bit. They don't seem to be moving too far.
Oh, that one cranked it. Came right up to the surface.
You gonna need a net on him, Pat, or?
I got it right here. I can just scoop it myself. Double us up. I don't think this one's coming off the way that it hit it. There we go. I had that one good bite on the plastic, and things kind of dried up, so I switched back to that number 6 ripping wrap, and he thumped it. And there we go. Nice fish. There we go. Another nice low 20-inch fish. Great walleye. Hopefully we get on some big old pigs later on in the day. Hopefully as this water warms up a little bit more, they'll just get more and more charged up. So fire her back and get back in there. Nice. There's not much more of a fun bite than catching them on these ripping wraps. It's
There
just
you go, Pat.
a real aggressive hit, and when they're fired up on them, they just wail on it. It's just so much fun. Bring him by here. I got the net ready.
Here he comes. That one cracked it pretty
Oh, yeah.
hard. There we go. Not a giant, but after sitting in the snow bear all winter, I'm happy to be sitting in the sun casting for walleyes. We'll go back with this one here. Thank you, buddy. No doubt my favorite way to fish for walleyes, casting. And if I can do it with something aggressive like the rip and wrap, I'm all in. See if we can get another double, Pat.
Yeah, I'm in.
In-Depth Outdoors, Spot on the Spot ID.
On this week's Spot on the Spot ID, I'm going to be talking a little bit about locations and mapping, and a lot more about using side imaging to find these walleyes. So right here we have a really broad range. This is the Okuma River right here. Peshtigo's up here, and this entire part of the bay sees a lot of walleyes migrating in, great spawning habitat, and there's just a huge migration of these fish that push in this time of year. Now what I like to do is drive around, say if you have a south wind, pushing the warm water coming out of the Okuma to the north, warming up this portion of the bay. I'll spend a lot of time driving my boat, say at 2, 3, 4 miles per hour, seeking out those fish. You know, right now those fish are going to be pushing up. The more aggressive fish are going to be in that kind of 5 to 10 feet of water, and I'll just parallel that shoreline, looking for that warm water and also looking for fish using the side imaging. And it really works especially good on this part of the bay. There's a lot of mud bottom, and these fish show up incredibly well, and they're really easy to find. So here's a great example of a bunch of fish on the left side of the boat. You can see the bottom composition here. There might be one walleye right there. You get over to the left side and you're seeing a lot of fish, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the easiest way to tell the difference between a fish or something else down there on the bottom, like a rock or a log or anything like that, is these all are gonna have shadows that are separated away from that mark. You know, there's that walleye, there's the shadow, there's that walleye, there's that shadow, and so on. And you can see I have this set up right now, 80 feet to the right, 80 feet to the left. That's kind of my go-to range when I'm actually looking for fish. If I'm looking for structure, I might extend that out a little bit more, but when I'm trying to mark fish, I usually don't go too much further past 80 feet left and right. Here's another example. You can see right here, I got the zoom box on these 4 walleyes. You can see all the shadows there. Those are some pretty good sized fish. 80 feet going 2.6 miles per hour, and they're showing up like that. Those are some really nice looking walleyes. And then over here, there's just a lot of different ones scattered all throughout. And the main thing, like I said before, is looking for those individual shadows that are behind those fish. That way you know those fish are up 1 foot to 2 feet off the bottom. So the next one is gonna look a little bit different. So here we're only going 0.9 miles per hour. And the main difference here is, here's a shot where you're actually fishing for them. You know, you're going that 0.5 to 1 miles an hour casting at these fish, and they start to get a little bit more smeared because the boat's not moving very fast. But this is what they can start to look like when you're moving at really slow speeds. But you'll see once again, they all still cast a shadow. So that's the main thing that you're looking for when you're trying to find fish out there on Green Bay.
Available in 6 technique-specific models, the new Deadeye Custom Series spinning rods from Okuma offer tournament-grade performance at a price all anglers can afford. Built on SCT blank technology featuring a dual helix carbon fiber wrap, Deadeye Custom Series rods offer an ultra-responsive blank that will handle the biggest walleye on your favorite bodies of water. Find the Deadeye Custom Series at your favorite sporting goods store today and see for yourself why Okuma is inspired fishing.
Get action. Do things. Be sane. Don't fritter away your time. Create. Act. Take a place wherever you are. And be somebody. Get action.
New for this season, Be Fish and Tackle adds the rib fin to its Authentex line of soft baits. All Authentex soft baits offer a deadly combination of shape and action and are available in fish catching color patterns not offered anywhere else, including 6 new fish catching color patterns that make Authentex soft baits the bait of choice for trophy walleye and bass anglers everywhere. Authentex soft baits. Find them online at befishandtackle.com or at a quality sporting goods retailer near you.
I might have to switch over to that color. That thing seems hot.
I don't know if there's any left.
Oh, yeah.
There might be one. Not a giant, but a little bit better one.
Yeah, a nice one. Looked like he inhaled it.
Yeah.
Another pre-spawn.
There. Popped off in the net. Well, this is my first time here, and I haven't got to experience this before, but I don't know as far as action right now if it gets much better.
Yeah,
The only thing that'd probably get better would be the size.
yeah.
But like you said, I think when that water warms up, some of these bigger ones are going to push up shallow again.
You would never want to come back, would you?
No, I mean casting for walleyes.
Yeah. There we go. That one cracked it. Nice. I switched over to your magic color there, Marcus. I was just seeing some on the side imaging too.
See, and I thought it was just because I was a decent fisherman. Want a net on that?
I'll just grab them here. There we go. Pin that thing right to the bottom there. And he wants to go back, so I'm gonna let him go. The main, I like to run the boat at anywhere from that 0.5 to 0.8 miles per hour when I'm fishing these baits. And it's just a matter of letting that bait hop. You want it to be getting contact with the bottom in between each rip. You know, you're ripping it forward and it's vibrating up. It's kind of falling back down, hitting the bottom, and usually they'll pin it right there. Sometimes you'll get some hits halfway up the stroke, or they'll bump slack in you when you're going to drop it back down. But it's really important that you let that bait hit the bottom, settle in for just a second, and then you're hopping it back up. And you want that bait coming back to the boat at a pretty decent rate of speed. And that's kind of the key to getting bit out here. Right now the water's 34.3 degrees where we're at right now, and we're not giving it real aggressive hard rips. We're just kind of doing a softer lift, you know, so that bait's just kind of coming up, rattling 2 or 3 times, falling back down. You know, as the water warms up, these fish get more charged up. Sometimes a little bit more aggressive rip can trigger a lot more fish to strike too. So you kind of have to play with the different cadences so you can figure out what's working best for the water temp and the conditions that you're fishing. Right now it's kind of a slow hop. There we go.
Oh, pounded you on the upswing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a decent one. It's funny in that cold water how they just come right up to the surface right away. Like head shaking like a bass. That's a nice one.
Saw it come up and hit it on your upswing there. Huh? There we go.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's more what we're looking for, right?
There we go. Nice Green Bay walleye there. That's a pre-spawner. Maybe a 25-incher or so. Really nice fish. I think we better get back in there and try and get her big sister.
That looks like fun.
Yeah. All right, we'll get that fish back. Thanks for playing. Off she goes. You know, we've been bouncing around quite a bit today, fishing different spots, trying to locate new fish, and this fishery over here is so much fun, and it's got so popular in the last 4 to 5 years that it gets a little crowded out here. So it really pays to use your electronics, use side imaging, and just take 20 minutes, half an hour of your day, drive around until you find fish, and then you get right on top of them. And you can find fish that aren't in the main schools where everybody's piled in on top of each other. You can kind of find these smaller 20, 30 fish schools and pick off the active ones, and then spend 20 minutes, find another small school, and just wash, rinse, repeat. So it's a really fun way to stay on fish and find new spots too.
For the bass that thinks it's a bulldog. For the walleye that thinks it's a freight train. For the tuna that thinks it's a torpedo. For the tarpon that thinks it's a tarpon. You need the mono that thinks it's a braid. Sufix Advance. New advanced mono with HMPE braid molecules for strength, abrasion resistance, and low stretch. Sufix Advance, the mono that thinks it's a braid.
Available in 6 technique-specific models. The new Deadeye Custom Series spinning rods from Okuma offer tournament-grade performance at a price all anglers can afford. Built on SCT blank technology featuring a dual helix carbon fiber wrap, Deadeye Custom Series rods offer an ultra-responsive blank that will handle the biggest walleye on your favorite bodies of water. Find the Deadeye Custom Series at your favorite sporting goods store today and see for yourself why Okuma is inspired fishing.
At Aluma, we're in it for the long haul. That's why we make the longest-lasting, most rugged trailers on the road. Flatbeds, bike haulers, tilt trailers, and enclosed. If you have a lot to move, we've got your way to move it. Our lightweight aluminum trailers will handle even your heaviest loads. At Aluma, we are right behind you with an industry-leading 5-year warranty. Because every trip and every load is valued.
So here's a basic rundown on the equipment that we're using to cast these ripping wraps. It starts out, my favorite rod here, the Okuma Helios 7-foot medium action, and then we're using a Helios SX30 on there for a reel. And the rod is really important with these baits. You need something that has a pretty stiff backbone to work these baits correctly. And as far as line goes, we're just using 10-pound Sufix 832 braid down to about a 6 or 7 foot 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And from there, we're just putting a VMC snap on there so you can change out baits quickly. So it's a pretty basic setup, 7-foot medium action rod, 10-pound braid, down to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and you're good to go.
That fish just snuck up on me.
Did it? Just kind of came up on him?
Yeah. That could be my best of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There we go.
Just right the edge there.
Nice fish, man.
Actually, it's not even hooked. There we go. That one spawned out.
Oh yeah.
We'll get her back in because I'm not done fishing for the day yet. Alright. There you go.
Another one of those 20 inchers or so. little break in the wind. It's been calm, so I've been throwing a few plastics around, and it's been working pretty good. It's a heavy one for hoisting. Green core chartreuse moxie, and pinned him. Just a ton of those today. 18 to 20, 22 inchers. We've caught a gob of them. Hey Marcus, I got another one.
Another one on the plastic.
Tons of these today. You know, it's crazy too, we're seeing a lot of these fish on the side imaging, and I'm seeing fish that size, smaller marks, but there's big ones mixed right in with them, and for whatever reason, we just have not been super successful catching them. We've caught some nice fish, but none of the real big ones that Green Bay is known for.
That feels a little better.
That didn't take long. Plastic time. Hey, that's a better nice one. Yeah, I'll net him.
First cast on the plastic, I just watched Pat hit like 3 or 4 right in a row.
Pre-spawner too. There we go. That's a nice one, man.
That is a good one.
That's what we're after.
It's a chunky fish.
Oh yeah. Nice work.
Well, I just couldn't let you throw a plastic and I couldn't try it, so. It's a heavy fish.
Yeah.
For that fish's length. I went with a little bit different plastic than Pat. I'm throwing a 360 Coastal, the Largo shad. Thank you, girl.
That's gonna do it for this week's episode. We had a ton of fun out there casting for walleyes, and that bite's gonna get better and better here for the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's gonna switch over from some pre-spawn to pretty much all post-spawn, but those fish are actually a lot more aggressive and fun to catch. So one last thing, make sure you go to indepthoutdoors.com and get signed up for the Dream Trip giveaway. It's gonna be on Lake Nipigon in Ontario. They're gonna be on some giant pike up there, and it's the last week to get signed up. So make sure you get on our website and do that. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.